Damn, she's 6'2".
Yeah, she's tall, and she wears heels everywhere. She's tall.
Mom, go away. I'm recording a podcast. Recording a podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to Verified. My name is Shane.
My name is Carlos.
Guys, we got another unique guest in store for today. We have a pro hacker, coder, has been coding since the summer of 2018, and I just found out that she's best friends with the American fashion model, Karlie Kloss. Everybody, please welcome to Verified, Trinity. How's it going?
Hi, it's going good. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Fantastic.
Good.
I guess let's start at the beginning. So, summer 2018.
That was me coming out of 7th grade, so going into 8th grade. And my sister was a teacher for 2 years through this program called Teach for America. And this summer program called Code with Klossy, founded by Karlie Kloss, they were looking for people to be instructors for their summer camps. And they reached out to my sister because they're partners with Teach for America. So she became an instructor, and she was like, hey, Trinity, you should do this program called Code with Klossy because I'm going to be an instructor for it. And I think it's really cool because you'll learn how to code and you'll meet girls your age because it's a all women's coding program. And so I was like, you know what, I'll try it out. Since then, every summer since 2018, I've done it.
Do you want to go more into what coding with Klossy is?
Yeah, so Code with Klossy is a 2-week summer program founded by Karlie Kloss, and basically it's just 2 weeks of your summer. It's for young girls ages 13 to 18 who want to learn how to code, and there's a web development camp, a mobile app camp, and recently this summer they came out with a data science camp, which is pretty interesting. Throughout the 2 weeks, you learn how to code, you meet girls who are like-minded and who all have similar, interests and dreams, I guess. Not only do you learn how to code, but you also learn about the gender gap in STEM as well, because there's not very many girls in STEM and computer science, so you learn more about that and just diversity in STEM. So it's not just coding.
So is hackathon, is that part of the coding with Klossy aspect?
So a hackathon, it's like a event. Usually they're in person, but because of COVID, they've been online. It's a usually 24-hour event where you create a hack, but it's like a coding project. So you can make a website, an app, a game. Some people even do like hardwares with like Arduinos and Raspberry Pis and stuff like that. And you basically just create a hack that fits the theme of the hackathon.
So yeah, I saw you participated in one recently. You want to kind of talk about that one specifically, like what you guys did?
The one I did is called Technica, and I think it's the world's largest all-female non-binary hackathon. So for that, I created a project on entrepreneurship and finance for women. I didn't win anything, but there were some really good projects that people did win. And that was actually my second year doing it. I did it last year as well, and also did not win anything.
2018, before then, summer 2018, before you started coding, what were some, preconceptions, if any, about coding? Like any stereotypes or like any generalized ideas you had about coding and coders before you started coding?
I think that's a really good question, because that was a big part of me starting out coding, because when my sister first asked me to join this program, I was like, I don't really want to do that, because it's not something that any of my friends did, and it's not something that I was really interested in. So I was like, what if people judge me for this? People are gonna think I'm a nerd, and people do think I'm a nerd, but at this point I embrace it, because I know how to make a website and you don't, so I don't know why you're upset. I definitely thought it was kind of lame, and then I did it, and I was like, there are other people out there who thought the same thing as me, and now they're also thinking the same thing as me, hey, this isn't that bad. I don't know why I thought it was so bad when I first started. And definitely not seeing a lot of females in computer science and coding was another big reason of why I didn't want to start, because a lot of people in my family who are into computer science and are engineers are all male, so I couldn't really see myself as a female in that engineering computer science position.
What is coding to you?
Ever since I was younger, I didn't really have a passion for anything. There's those kids who their whole personality is just a sport, like soccer boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't really have that. I played softball, but it was fun. I enjoyed doing it, but it just wasn't, my thing. So then I started coding, and I don't know, something else in my brain clicked. The amount of serotonin I actually got from my brain while coding, that makes me sound like such a nerd, but it's something I enjoy doing, and finding other people I also know who also enjoy doing it, it just feels really good, and it's just kind of my thing now, my niche, and I'm okay with it.
Let's talk about Karlie Kloss. How'd that happen?
Karlie Kloss, of course, is the founder of Code Klossy, and my sister now, after becoming an instructor, she now works for them, and she like recruits instructors. So because Karlie is the founder and my sister works for her, she meeting Karlie Kloss for the first time in person. It was at a hackathon last year, and she came because she was one of the closing speakers there, and she came and we had lunch with her during the hackathon. It was pretty sick. Yeah, and then my sister actually got interviewed by her, which is like insane. Like usually you'd think like she would be interviewing Karlie Kloss, but no, she got interviewed by Karlie Kloss. So that was pretty neat as well.
Damn.
So yeah, if I were to talk to Karlie again, she would recognize me. So I wouldn't say I'm best friends with her, but like we know each other.
There's
best
recognition. There's facial recognition.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And she told me once, like she also came to one of my Code Klossy camps, and she was like, I think you should be teaching this camp and not like learning it. And I do that so often.
How did meeting someone like that, how did that motivate you to like go further into coding?
Karlie's story about getting into coding was that she became a model when she was like in high school. Throughout her modeling career, so she took a computer science class or something, and she really liked it. So she took a year out of modeling, which she was so good at, she was so successful at, but she risked taking this 1 year out so that she could learn more about coding. And I feel like that's so like motivating and inspiring, because she was really good at modeling, and it was something that she just had a passion for, and she risked her career to try something new, and that is very motivating to me. And coding was something new to me, and I just risked it. Ever since talking to her, because we're at that like facial recognition place, talking to her doesn't feel like she's like a celebrity, like it makes you realize that like all these celebrities are still real people, and they still like talking to her actually does feel like a friend. It's just something I probably wouldn't have known or realized without coding.
One thing I did want to bring up though was notatrend.org site that is in your
yes.
Instagram bio. Mm-hmm. What that is and why'd you start it?
Not a Trend is a website that I created over quarantine over the summer for the Black Lives Matter movement, because there was a huge like spike during it. I was passionate about Black Lives Matter, and I know how to code, so I combined those two like passions to create this website where people can, donate to organizations or sign petitions or even just educate themselves and reflect on their actions and I am Asian myself. That like does not relate to Black Lives Matter, but it does. And I have, experienced myself firsthand like racism and, discrimination, and it's not very fun. I feel like more people should be aware of it. So I created Not a Trend to help spread awareness. And the name Not a Trend comes from people on like social media posting for a little bit and just stopping because they think it's a trend, but it's not. It's something that's really real, and it's a huge problem that needs to be stopped. I did a lot of research finding all these resources and like books and charities and petitions for everyone, but still an ongoing thing. I haven't worked on it in a little bit, but it's still an ongoing thing. So it's been a little bit.
How high do you want to go? Like your biggest dream? Where do you want to see yourself?
With coding, once I started that, I wanted to go into computer science, obviously, because I was very passionate about it, and I still am, obviously. See, NASA is that big dream. I don't know if I can get there, but that's my biggest dream. Ever since I was younger, I've always wanted to be a doctor as well, and I like helping people. The thought of saving lives is very fulfilling to me. So I wanted to combine, computer science and technology with, medicine and saving lives, I guess. And so now I want to go into biomedical engineering. I don't really know where I want to go with that, but that's just my dream, I think, right now.
Oh yeah, before we wrap up, Trini, do you wanna plug anything?
My Instagram is at TurnTTurn, which is just my name without the vowel, so it's TRNTYTRN. And most of my socials are also that, if you want to stalk me, I guess. Oh, and check out my website, notatrend.site.
You'll see your at in the description. All those things. Go click on them. Go check them out. Really cool stuff. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy and want to help us out, you can follow us on whatever podcast listening platform you're currently listening on. If you want to check us out on Instagram, we're called @verified.talk on Instagram. We post updates and sometimes highlights. We want to get back into that. If you guys want to check us out on YouTube, you can check us out on YouTube. We're called Verified Media on YouTube. It'll be linked in our Instagram bio sometimes. If you guys want to check out our TikTok because you're really bored and want to see some terrible content, you can find us on TikTok. We're @verified.talk on TikTok as well. Hope you guys had a good Halloween, even though you're going to hear this well after Halloween.
Mom, go away. I'm recording a podcast. Recording a podcast.
Guys, look forward to Christmas. It's right around the corner. Don't forget.
Or it's
Thanksgiving?
not. Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. What?